Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal, and in this episode, we are discussing the Bruins' newest player, Tyler Johnson.
Yeah.
Not a new face in the NHL, but new to the Bruins.
Yeah. I mean, he's been sitting on the sidelines for quite some time now.
Yeah, we are recording this episode on Thursday, November 7th, and the Bruins have signed Tyler Johnson to a one-year deal, $775,000. Tyler Johnson was on a PTO with the Bruins during camp, and now he draws into the roster.
Yeah. I mean, this is quite a... Well, you can call it a step back in terms of salary payment, but I think this is a bargain deal for having a guy of this much experience on your roster.
I mean, even for Tyler, if he hasn't played in a few years, like, this is better than nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that he hasn't played in a few years. It's that he just didn't want to play for Chicago anymore, going through the rebuild and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, if you didn't know, he was on Chicago for a while after Tampa had to move some players out because, cap issues, obviously. And he was getting paid $5 million at the time, and so he got traded to Chicago. Chicago being he was a good mentor to Bedard for a while, especially while Taylor Hall was out. But he's closer to, I think he's closer to 40 than he is 30, and either way, he's kind of on the tail end of his career. He's trying to win one more cup, at least one more cup.
He's got 2 with Tampa.
Yeah, he's got 2 with Tampa. He contributed a lot to that Tampa team. He was a very underrated part of that Tampa team. But yeah, I get it. As a 34-year-old, you're trying to win a cup, so you'll sign a cheap ass deal with a cup contender, right? So should we talk about, was this the right team to sign with?
Yeah, I mean, the Bruins have been struggling a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Compared to the Bruins standards.
Yeah.
They are 5th in the division, 18th in the league, 4-5-1 in their last 10. But this is a Bruins team that wants to be a cup contender right now.
Yeah. And they've also had issues trying to get past Florida, which they accounted for in the offseason. They got some big guys. It's a very heavy team. I think it's one of the heaviest, biggest rosters ever to start a season or something. But
and this is a trend since the Knights won the cup because they won it with a big roster.
Right.
Now people are all trying to get bigger.
Yeah. And it's been proven you need that durability to actually go far in the playoffs. And so I get it. But again, going back to Tyler Johnson, he's got plenty of experience. He is an undersized player. But he's a quick player. He's done some amazing stuff in the playoffs. He torched the Hurricanes, and he was really good against the Rangers.
I know his resume comes with that star of playoff performer.
Yeah, he's honestly he's a Barclay Goodrow type player where he's he's good in the regular season, but he's something special in the playoffs. And that's kind of what the Bruins are kind of hoping for. But right now, with their struggles, it's a little dicey, right?
Right now, they're on the edge of falling out of a playoff spot. They're in the second wild card in the East.
Yeah.
So you've watched a lot of Tyler Johnson. He's one of your favorite players, I know.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the guy to help them climb the regular season standings?
The regular season? I mean,
that's what matters right now.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get there first.
Right, of course, yeah. I think he has a lot to contribute. It's obviously with recency bias, we could sit here and be oh, he didn't do that much in Chicago. I was bro, nobody did that much in Chicago. Yeah, unless your name is Connor friggin' Bedard.
They were actively trying to not do that much.
Exactly, yeah. So let's not discount what he did in Tampa. And he was incredibly good in Tampa. And I'll go as far as to say he doesn't, or Tampa doesn't win those 2 cups without him on that roster, because he did massively contribute to the success of that franchise during that time. The issue is he is very good in the playoffs, but if they don't get to the playoffs, then I'm not sure. You can't put one guy who's on a $775 contract to actually carry your team. And again, when he was winning those cups, that was 4 years ago at this point. He was 28. It's a big difference, right? In terms of hockey age, right? 34 is, you're starting to get up there. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend he's the same Carolina killer that he once was or whatever. But it's just, he's got the experience, I guess. Yeah. He's got the veteran experience.
Also, the Bruins just need something right now.
Yeah.
If you watch them, it's the Bruins, but they're a little off color.
Right. It's not all the way there.
It's a store brand Bruins.
Great value Bruins.
Yeah, basically.
Bruins.
And it's a lot of Pasternak just pulling goals out of his ass.
Yeah. And when he doesn't do all that great, there's been some benching issues, and we've seen Marchand not look as good or as elite as he usually is.
I mean, speaking of getting up in age, Marchand's there too.
Yeah. So I mean, this team is big and experienced, but they're old, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
and I think Swayman sitting at the first training camp in the first part of the season didn't help.
Did not help at all. Yeah.
Their goaltending has been mid.
Yeah.
And this is usually a very strong goaltending team.
Right. And so like they're kind of just chugging their way along.
Like I could see them getting in on a wild card.
Yeah.
But the Bruins were like division winners and, cup champs before getting smashed by Florida.
Right. But clearly, as we've seen, winning or breaking records for regular season all time, whatever, it just doesn't matter.
But also after years of regular seasons, this has got to feel weird for them.
Yeah. Okay, come on, man. They've been so good for
That's
so long.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not terrible. They're bad by Bruins standards.
Right, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I was like, I don't know if necessarily anyone feels bad for them because they've been so dominant for so long.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's also the Bruins. Nobody feels bad for the Bruins besides the Bruins.
Yeah, that's true. But
they're one of the longtime heels of the NHL.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, to circle back with the whole Tyler Johnson argument, he can provide you something, but again, he's not the same. Like he's not in his prime anymore. I don't think he is.
So this is just looking for a spark, basically.
It's looking for a spark, and like the reason, again, we started this episode saying like, oh, he chose to sign with the Bruins. I was like, I'm sure there's plenty of teams that would have signed a guy like this for $775,000.
Yeah.
I was like, you're getting a pretty good deal, like value-wise. Like he's probably gonna be on what, the third, fourth line,
third max,
and just have like a hell of a lot of experience and knowledge to share with everyone. He knows how to win cups. Let's be real. So. Yeah, he brings that to the table, but again, like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. He's still going to make the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. He's not a game changer anymore, but yeah, it's just we're going to see what happens here, I guess.
All right.
So
let us know your thoughts on Tyler Johnson in the comments below. If you like this episode, drop a like on it. Hit subscribe if you want more Glass Seats, and if you want even more content, we're on Instagram. @GlassSeatsShow is the handle, and we'll see you there.
Bye.